Welcome to This Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled you're joining us today because we're going to decode something that honestly trips up so many people. Whether you're taking your very first steps on the dance floor or you're just watching a beautiful ballroom competition on TV, you've probably noticed this. We're looking at the fundamental differences between two absolute classics, the waltz and the Viennese waltz. To really get a grip on these dances, we need to break down their tempo, their timing, and the overall feel they produce. And I promise, by the end of this, you're going to see both of these styles in a completely different light. Okay, let's dive right into this. Here is the central mystery we're trying to solve today. If both of these dances share the exact same 3/4 time signature, why in the world do they feel completely different to dance and honestly to watch? I mean, if you've ever listened to a waltz, you know that familiar 1-2-3, 1-2-3 count, right? But even though the underlying math of the music is identical, these two styles produce wildly different physical experiences. So how does the exact same musical fraction create such completely distinct worlds? Section 1. Tempo, the core difference. So, the speed at which you actually feel the physical rotation of the dance is what initially and most distinctly separates these two. It's literally the engine driving every single mechanical choice you make on the floor. On the left, we've got the traditional waltz. Think of this kind of like a swan. It's this moderate, relaxed, highly elegant glide. The pacing is steady, giving you all this luxurious space to really show off your beautiful posture and smooth transitions. But then, you look at the Viennese waltz, and it is like a spinning top. The tempo is substantially faster, and because of that intense speed, you've got to be continuous. Your body has to be instantly ready, and your footwork needs to be remarkably crisp. You simply can't lose the flow, or the momentum of the dance is going to completely run away from you.
Section 2. Timing and weight, where the emphasis lands.
And this brilliantly illustrates how, while the meter remains the exact same 3/4 time in both dances, the way you distribute the emphasis completely alters the feeling of timing. In the standard waltz, you're sort of like a feather on the breeze. The whole goal is sweeping travel and highly recognizable weight movement. You get this beautiful, spacious hang time between steps, just soaring through the progression of the musical phrases. On the right side, though, notice how the Viennese waltz takes that exact same 3/4 framework and compresses it, like a tightly wound coil, into an energetic pulse. It demands a much stronger forward impulse. There is way less hang time here. Instead, you've got this immediate tight connection from step to step just to keep up with the rhythm. Section 3. Shaping versus momentum, the distinct character of each dance. So now we're moving from the math of the music into the actual biomechanics and character out there on the floor. Let's start with shaping. Shaping basically means using rise and fall, body shaping, and longer lines to create this gorgeous lyrical quality. In a standard waltz, you are traveling smoothly through the music. You're not racing the beat at all. The waltz dancer prioritizes expressing that beat through big, leisurely, expansive lines. It is an incredibly expressive, spacious experience where your body literally takes its time to fill out every corner of the music. Momentum. In the Viennese waltz, your focus shifts entirely to this one concept. Because the tempo is so incredibly fast, you aren't focused on big, leisurely shaping anymore. Actually, scratch that, you just don't have the time for it. Instead, you are fiercely prioritizing continuous rotation, smooth coordination, and maintaining a rock-solid, consistent frame. You are rapidly spinning through the musical phrase, so your primary job shifts entirely to harnessing that massive momentum without falling off the beat. Section 4. Spotting the difference. Practical cues for the floor. Now, theory is fantastic, but how do you actually spot this out in the wild? Well, we can break this down into listening cues for your ears and body cues for your physical feeling. For the waltz, your listening cue is a calmer, more spacious musical cadence, and your body acts as a literal meter. If you can easily settle into your weight changes and keep your floor craft super calm, you're perfectly in waltz territory. But drop down to the Viennese waltz. Your ears are instantly going to pick up on a quickly cycling freeze and a driving rhythmic pulse. And because of that, your body cue is a feeling of constant forward readiness. If you feel like you have to stay constantly activated just to stay aligned with the beat, yeah, you're definitely dancing a Viennese waltz. Section 5. Fixing common mistakes when tempos collide. Oh man, this is a massive pain point in the ballroom world. Even really skilled dancers can look a bit off when they fail to adjust their tempo expectations between these two. I mean, what happens when you try to apply a slow waltz pacing to a fast Viennese waltz? It creates a disastrous domino effect. First, you lose continuity. Then you have delayed footwork. And worst of all, you get this heavy look that completely clashes with the speed of the music. It's absolute chaos. You simply cannot treat a fast, driving Viennese waltz like a slow, sweeping, traditional waltz. Your feet are just going to be constantly lagging behind the music, dragging the whole performance down.
And you know what? The reverse is equally disastrous. What happens when you apply Viennese pacing to a traditional waltz? Rushing transitions, tightening your movement far too aggressively. You end up with this really strained appearance and you become rhythmically unstable. By bringing all that aggressive, constant readiness to a slow, lyrical waltz, you completely ruin the elegant progression. Instead of looking graceful and expansive, you just look frantic and tense.
So, the crucial point is that the true fix isn't just to tell yourself to dance faster or dance slower. It actually requires adjusting exactly how your physical weight connects under the music's specific pace. You literally have to change your structural posture and your weight transfers to properly serve the tempo of the song you're dancing to. It is all about adapting the mechanics, not just the speed.
And that beautifully brings us to our final takeaway for this explainer. Tempo changes everything. It's such a simple sentence, but it is so deeply, absolutely true. While both of these dances share that iconic 1, 2, 3 timing, the pure speed of the music fundamentally alters both the physical biomechanics of the dancer and the visual, lyrical expression of the entire performance. So the next time you hear a 3/4 beat, listen closely to the pulse. Ask yourself, are you meant to shape the music, or is the momentum meant to shape you? Thank you so much for exploring this with us today. Keep listening, keep analyzing, and definitely keep dancing.